Okay folks, next review here today. We actually have the Camp Chef. It is the Woodwind Wi-Fi grill, and I had a Traeger. I'll tell you right now that I don't necessarily have anything against a Traeger. I had a little bit of issues with temperature control. The thermostat really didn't want to work very well for me after a little while worth of usage, and so rather than just trading that in, one of the things that I wanted to do was try out a different version of this. And so the one thing that we battled with was the fact that we still at times like to use gas with the pellet. And so this Camp Chef version here actually comes with not only the pellet grill, but also the option to include the burner, which runs off of propane and has a lot of options. So what we did was we chose to use the version that comes with the Sidekick, and the Sidekick has a lot of different options. Just a lot of more versatility to it, and putting it all into kind of one unit keeps me away from using two grills. So we're going to kind of show you this. As you can see, I already have put together the legs on this. This is the 36-inch version, so pretty large cooking surface here if you look, and you can see it's a very big unit, which would be awesome for us, as we try and cook things like ribs and other things like that. It's big enough that we can put a turkey in here and a lot of other things. So follow along here. We're going to show you kind of how this all goes together, and then hopefully get it fired up. Okay guys, so we've got the grill put together, and as you can see, everything lines up pretty nice. The grill itself is pretty big. This grill is actually their 36-inch model. It comes in a 24-inch model as well. What we're gonna do is kind of walk you through a lot of the functionality right now. So this part is, to me, I think what really separates a lot of these grills. As I told you before, I was in a Traeger grill and kind of switched over. I had a little bit of some issues with it. I know a lot of guys love them. I enjoyed mine as well, but just had a little inconsistency in how my thermostat was operating. I was having some troubles with it overheating, and so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go and try the Camp Chef model, and this is their Woodwind model, and so we're pretty excited. I've actually used it a few times already. I kind of wanted to get a feel for the cook and the functions and all that first. So we're gonna walk you through this and show you some of the options and some of the functionality of this and the versatility, which I think really sets this grill apart from a lot of the other grills on the market. Okay, so we're gonna kind of bring it in for the real thing here. We're gonna be down a little bit to get a little bit closer in so we can show you what the unit actually looks like. It's kind of nice. It comes with a cover here, which allows us to make sure that we can keep this closed, keep the front of this free from moisture and those types of things. The on-off switch is essentially right here. You'll notice when we turn it on, the unit comes to life here a little bit. And then this here is actually how we're going to navigate through the options in here. And the thing that I really like about this is you'll notice up top, it's going to ask for my temperature that I want. The thing that's unique about this compared to a lot of the pellet grills is that this will actually allow me to go into setting my temperature, and I can go all the way up to, crank it all the way up to here, all the way up to 500 degrees, and that's a little bit higher than what most of the other units will allow you to do. Most of them are at about 450, so I like that extra ability to go up an extra 50 degrees if we want to increase our cook time. And you notice it starts right up. The one thing that I don't like about some of the other ones is there's a startup period. You have to turn it on, allow it to get to certain heat, then choose what temperature that you want to cook at. This one I can just set it and forget it, kind of like the infomercial says. And then on top of that, what this will also allow me to do is I can actually walk through this, and I'll take the grill and choose what smoke level I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to cancel this, okay, and shut that down. Because I haven't started it up. I don't want to necessarily run it through. I'm not planning on cooking right now, but it's going to allow me to make that choice between 1 and 10, and I think that's really unique because a lot of these grills don't really give you that option. You just put it up to a smoking level, whether you want it at 180 or 200 or whatever that might be, and you just kind of cook. And with this, I can actually choose how much smoke flavor I want to inject into that meat, and that choice allows me a lot more variability where I can kind of self-regulate to what my kind of personal preference is, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, so the next feature which I really like about this, which is also unique I think with the Camp Chef, is if you'll notice here, it actually has a feed choice here, and most of these grills don't allow you to run the auger unless you're running the grill. So if I'm emptying out the hopper, if I'm filling it back up, if I'm changing pellets or something like that, this actually allows me to turn the feed on and fill the auger full of pellets, which is really unique because I typically don't get that type of variability or that type of option within a lot of these grills. And so I like that because I can come out, turn the feed on, get the auger full, and then I can go into a cook without necessarily wasting time and heat trying to get the thing ready. Okay, so I like that option. Everything, like I said, runs right off of this guy here. Same thing with the shutdown. It has a shutdown mode, which obviously is important for how these grills operate, but pretty simple, pretty easy to allow that. Now, on top of that, you'll also notice some nice features here. One of them being that I have 4 probe outlets on this. I only have 2 of them in here. I actually have the other 2 down below, but this will allow me to connect 4 probes, and that to me is huge. And as I mentioned before, or maybe I haven't mentioned yet, this all runs and is integrated into Bluetooth technology, which is just amazing. So I can actually make all of these adjustments and also see, you'll notice there are all 4 of the probe temperature readings there. Those will go to my phone. I can adjust the temperature of the grill, I can shut down the grill, I can adjust the smoke level of the grill, all from my phone, so I don't have to constantly be running in and out. And to me, that's a really, really awesome feature. And again, if I'm cooking a lot of things, having those extra probes is really nice without needing to actually buy more probes or use, I've used a grill eye and some things like that in the past, which are great, but they come standard with this. And Camp Chef just kind of added this as a nice little touch. They've got a bottle opener on there, which is pretty cool as well, which I really like. The last thing that we're going to talk about with regards to this kind of side of the grill is that we have 2 pullouts in here. One of them is this guy here, and inside, the way that all of these always work, if we take out our grill, if we take out our drip tray, there's a cover that goes over the top of the cauldron to try and improve dispersal of heat. And what Camp Chef did was decided, hey, I'm going to make this so that if the user wants to go with more direct heat, this is connected to that piece, and I can actually pull this out, move that out of the way, and now that cauldron and the pellets are giving direct heat into the grill itself. I haven't really checked to see how this works in terms of if it will cook hotter than that 500, but it's something that we'll play with over time and see how that actually works. But that's a really nice function that I think is a cool addition to be able to either speed up your cook time, heat up a little bit quicker, or whatever that might be. The last one, as you'll see over here, there's another pull-out. I'm not going to do it because you can see here I've got pellets. This is a nice feature as well because this actually allows me to see how much pellets are in there. Not a lot of the other pellet grills really provide me with that, where I can have a visual of what the pellet level looks like without opening the top. But they also included this nice feature with this. This is another pull-out here. It's got a little safety, drop on that so that it stays kind of locked in place. But should I want to say switch pellets, should I want to empty it out, should I want to clean it, I can actually pull this, and on the back of the grill there's an opening, and it will drain the actual the pellets themselves. So that's also a really cool feature. But a lot going on the side. You can see there's a handle here if I want to move it around, but tons of functionality that allow us to really do a lot with this grill, and also make a lot of variability based on my likes, my wants, and how I want to cook. So pretty cool. Okay, so now that we've moved from the hopper onto the main portion, we're going to show you some of the functionality that goes on in the main portion of the grill itself. The first thing I'll tell you is we chose to add in the front tray here. This is kind of just a nice little feature. This guy is really super easy and collapsible. It goes on with 4 bolts. Doesn't require any additional screwing or drilling holes or anything like that. It's machined in, which was really nice because actually when I took this apart, the directions for this said that I was going to have to, but when I got to putting it on, they were already included on both sides. So really nice little addition that way. As we're getting prepped and putting food on here, I've got a place to put it, and I don't really like having things kind of cluttered on either side, especially if I'm using this over here. So the inside of the grill itself, as we kind of showed you, I've got a lot of space for cooking, top and bottom. The one nice thing that I like about this is as I look to the drip tray itself, a lot of them are just a solid plate, and what Camp Chef did was they actually machined in some baffles into this so that it allows for a little bit more heat to come through, allows for a little bit more consistent heat, I think, and so just a small little touches that I think make this and separates it a little bit from a lot of the other grills. As I move to a few of the other pieces in here, one of the things that is an absolute game changer to me is what they did with the cleaning option of the grill. So we showed you a couple of the slides over here on this side of the grill. There's actually one that's included on this side of the grill, and there's a pull out underneath of here. It looks a lot like the other ones on this side, and it is connected to the actual pellet cauldron itself. And so what it does is it actually pulls out from there, and when we do that, there is a cup that's underneath of here, which I can show you right there. And when I pull that plate out, this allows me to actually catch whatever I've cooked so far as pellets and ash and all that from the cauldron directly into here, and I can empty it out. And now I don't have to do as much cleaning as often. I still am going to have to do my periodic where I pull everything out, and I'm going to have to work through cleaning out the bottom of the grill, but this allows me to do a little bit less cleaning as often, which to me is huge, because I think I always kind of viewed it as, here we go, I got to clean this thing again, I got to pull it all apart, I got to clean all the trays and all that, and then put it all back together before I can cook again. And this gives me a few more cooks at a time before I actually have to do a full thorough cleaning, which to me I thought was really huge. Now, in addition to that, they've also included in the smokestack a variable and adjustable top here. And so what they recommend is in colder weather, we want to keep this a little bit tighter. I believe they said that you want it to be about an inch or maybe a little bit less. And in the summertime, we'll have it a little bit more open, obviously with hotter temperatures, and allow a little bit more to get out of the grill, while in the winter time when it's colder, as you can see, we've had a little bit of snow. I'm going to keep that a little tighter, keep a little bit more heat into the grill, and again, just a lot more ability and options for me to tweak things the way that I would like in order to try and learn how to best use this. And to me, that's just additional pieces that were selling points for me on this grill. Okay, we're finally on to the end of the grill, and what you'll notice beside me here is open space. I used to have a gas grill in this space, and what we wanted to do was try and make our cooking a little bit easier. At times we just wanted to be able to cook a little bit faster, have a little bit higher heat, and what Camp Chef did was included the option with this grill to add propane heat to it as well. And so this does not come with it. In fact, right here, this is their standard. What would be connected to this side is just a shelf, and what we did was added this sidekick piece onto it. And so this actually operates and functions and can be used with all of their other Camp Chef models, I believe, don't quote me on that, but very similar. The nice thing about that is it also comes compatible with all the accessories with all of their other outdoor grills, their 2 and 3 burners for their camping line. And so what we did is we included this cast iron top for this as well. If I pull this off of here, you'll notice it has its standard cooking top here. So if we wanted to cook with, something with a pot or anything like that, I can do that on there. And so this is a really nice piece. This over here is actually a drip tray for the cast iron, and so it really, they thought all of these things out, which is awesome. And this thing just operates like any gas grill would. So I've got it connected, boom, First try, turns right on, and now I've got heat here, and we can cook on this. We cook some vegetables and things like that on here already, but as simple as that, self-starting. It does have the option to use a starter here if you need it. If for some reason, as you guys know, a lot of times over time, these starters kind of fizzle out on you. We still have that option as well. So it's a little bit cold today, so that heat actually feels kind of good. I'll turn that off. But in addition to this, they also have a couple other options. So if I remove this, I can also purchase what is their standard grill box, which can go on here. It comes with a lid as well, and then has cast iron grates inside of it. So if I say I wanted a searing box or something like that, I can use the propane side of this to do that, and then put it back on the pellet grill, or just use this by itself. The one that I think for sure that I'm going to go with is they actually make a hooded stone pizza oven, and I think that's going to be something that I might want to explore. I don't necessarily eat a ton of pizza, but who doesn't like pizza? And it just seems like something that would be pretty cool to explore with and try, and it would fit right on this piece as well. And the nice part about this is also Camp Chef included a propane bottle holder that goes on the back of this, so it really self-contains everything. You'll notice there's a tray on the bottom. We got wheels, we can move this thing around, and all in all, I don't think they missed much with this thing. We're still learning how to use it, but you know, the first few cooks that we've had with it have been fantastic, and so we're pretty excited about it. Again, not that I had any issues with our Traeger other than a little bit of temperature issues and some overheating and things like that, but we just wanted to try and really condense our cooking into one unit that would allow us to do a lot more, and I think this guy's going to really do the job. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of background into what the Camp Chef Woodwind looks like. And to top it off, one thing that they did do was they also included, when I opened this up and unboxed it, was Camp Chef threw in a hat. And so, you know, sometimes it's the little things, and I thought, hey, you know, that's a pretty cool, nice little touch, or a little cherry on top as an appreciation thing for purchasing their product. And so you'll see me maybe wearing that one out in the field or around when we do some of our videos at some point. So we appreciate you guys joining us today. We hope that you found today's video super useful. We always encourage you, leave your comments. We're happy to interact with anybody that watches these. If you have questions, or if I miss something, let me know. I'm happy to make sure that we elaborate and provide you with as much information as we can regarding the grill. And as always, we encourage you to like and subscribe to our page. And until next time, thanks for joining us.